Hi friends, today our ocean books are The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark. This is one of my favorites. And we also have Commotion in the Ocean. So I'm going to read Commotion in the Ocean first. And this book is by Gilles Andrea and illustrated by David Wojcicki. Commotion in the Ocean. There's a curious commotion at the bottom of the ocean. I think we ought to go take a look. You'll find every sort of creature that lives beneath the sea swimming through the pages of this book. There are dolphins, whales, and penguins. There are jellyfish and sharks. There's the turtle, the big white polar bear. But you can see behind the wrecks and in between the rocks. Let's take a look and find who's hiding there. Crab. The crab likes walking sideways, and I think the reason why is to make himself look sneaky and pretend that he is a spy. Turtles. We crawl up on the beach from the water to bury our eggs on dry land. We lay a whole batch, and then when they hatch, they scamper about the sand. Dolphins. The wonderful thing about dolphins is hearing them try to speak. It's not how do you do, I'd say to you, it's more of a click, whistle, squeak. Angelfish. Hello, I'm the angelfish, darling, the prettiest thing in the sea. What a shame there are no other creatures as gorgeous and lovely as me. The jellyfish. The jellyfish just loves to jiggle with other fish think is quite dumb. She knows that it's not that useful, but jiggling's just lots of good fun. The shark. I swim with a grin up to greet you. See how my jaws open wide. Why don't you come a bit closer? Please. Take a good look inside. The swordfish. I love to chase after small fishes. It keeps me from getting too bored. And then when I start feeling hungry, I skewer a few on my sword. Octopus. I have 8 arms. Having 8 arms can be useful. You may think it looks a bit funny, but it helps me hold all my children and tickle each one on their tummy. The stingray. At the bottom of the ocean, the stingray flaps his wings, but you don't get too close to him. His tail really stings. The lobster. Never shake hands with a lobster. It isn't a wise thing to do. With a clippity clap and a snippity snap, he would snip all your fingers in two. The deep sea. Miles below the surface, where the water is dark and deep, live the most amazing creatures that you could ever meet. There are fish of all descriptions, of every shape and size. Some have giant pointy teeth and great big bulging eyes. Some of them can walk around and balance on their fins, but the strangest fish of all has a glowing whiskers on their chin. The blue whale. There's no other beast on the planet as big as the giant blue whale. He measures a massive 100 feet long from his head to the tip of his tail. The walrus. Our bodies are covered with blubber and our tusks are incredibly long. We're grumpy and proud and we bellow out loud to show that we're mighty and strong. Penguins. We waddle around on our icebergs, which make our feet slither and slide. And when we get close to the water, we leap up with a splash off the side. Polar bears. Deep out in the Arctic, the mommy polar bear snuggles up with all her children, since it's very cold out there. What a lot of creatures we have seen beneath the sea. What a lot of funny things they do. Some of them might lick their lips and eat you in one bite, and some might want to swim around with you. The dolphin's very friendly and the lobster's very fierce, but the shark is the most dangerous by far. Can you name the other friends we made along the way? See if you can tell me who they are. The end. And the other book I have for us today, friends, is The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark. So, The Three Little Fish and the Big Bad Shark. This book is by Kevin Geist, and the pictures are by Julia Gorton. Once upon a time, there lived a mama fish and her 3 little fish, Jim, Tim, and Kim. It is now time, said the mama, for each of you to make a home in the deep blue sea. So off they went. The first little fish, named Jim, swam away and met a seahorse playing in some seaweed. "Can I have some of the seaweed so I can build a house?" "Take as much as you can carry," said the seahorse. Jim gathered the seaweed and made a weedy little house. Jim had just finished building his seaweed house when he heard the big, bad shark knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in." The little fish trembled and replied, "Not by the skin of my fin. Then I'll munch and I'll crunch and I'll smash your house in," roared the shark. So the big bad shark munched and he crunched and he ate up every bit of that seaweed house. And Jim swam away just in time. Soon Jim found his brother. Tim said, "Don't worry, Jim. We fish stick together. You can help me build a sandy little house." Jim and Tim had just started to relax in the sandy house when the big, bad shark came knocking at the door. Little fish, let me come in." To which the brave little fish replied, "Not by the skin of my fin. Then I'll munch and I'll crunch and I'll smash your house in," roared the shark. So the big, bad shark munched and he crunched until he got a sandy mouthful and the house crumbled. Jim and Tim swam and swam until they reached their sister Kim. Kim was setting up her house in an old wooden ship. "The big bad shark destroyed our houses. Don't worry, you can live with me," said Kim. And they did. The three little fish had just finished lunch when they heard the big bad shark knocking at their door. Little fish, let me come in." To which the smart fish replied, "Not by the skin of my fins. Then I'll munch and I'll crunch and I'll smash your house in," roared the shark. The big bad shark munched and he crunched, but he could not smash the house in. And then all of his teeth fell out. The three little fish were safe at last. See, now the shark has to eat seaweed. He has no teeth. The end. Thank you so much for joining me, friends. I hope you enjoyed all our ocean books this week.